The concealed carry world is going through a quiet but very real shift. For a long time, choosing a carry pistol was almost automatic. Glock dominated the conversation, dominated sales, and dominated holsters across the country. Reliability was the argument, simplicity was the excuse, and everything else came second. But as we move into 2026, that automatic choice is starting to feel less automatic. Shooters are carrying more, training more, and expecting more from their pistols. Optics readiness, better triggers, improved ergonomics, and higher capacity in smaller frames are no longer premium luxuries. They are becoming the baseline. The pistols in this lineup are not trying to copy Glock. They're trying to replace it in everyday carry roles, and for many people, they already have. Shadow System steps into that conversation with the CR920, a micro-compact that feels like the answer to a question Glock owners have been asking for years. The CR920 takes the familiar Glock-style footprint and refines it in ways that matter when a pistol lives on your belt every day. From the moment you pick it up, the differences are obvious. The grip texture is aggressive enough to lock into your hand under recoil, but smooth enough to stay comfortable during all-day carry. The slide comes optics ready from the factory, eliminating the need for aftermarket milling, and the front and rear serrations are deep and functional rather than decorative. The bronze barrel adds durability and wear resistance while giving the pistol a premium feel without crossing into flashy territory. Where many shooters really notice the upgrade is the trigger. Compared to a standard Glock trigger, the flat-face design offers a cleaner break and more predictable reset, which makes practical shooting easier and more consistent. One important detail is magazines. The CR920 uses its own Shadow Systems magazines, typically a flush 10+1 and an extended 13+1, and those are part of what makes the gun feel so capable for its size. Holster fit is easy though, because it is commonly carried in holsters designed for the Glock 43X MOS or 48 MOS style footprint. The trade-off is cost. Depending on the version, typical current pricing usually lands around $600 to $750, and availability can still be inconsistent. It is also a newer platform compared to legacy duty pistols, so long-term history is still building, but as a carry gun with premium feel, it is one of the strongest Glock-adjacent challengers. Canik takes a different approach with the METE MC9, and that difference is exactly why it keeps showing up on people's shortlists. This pistol is aimed directly at shooters who want maximum value without sacrificing real performance. The MC9 delivers a feature set that would cost significantly more from many competitors, and it does so in a genuinely concealable package. Right out of the box, the trigger stands out. It is clean, light, and short, resetting in a way that surprises people who associate budget pistols with mediocre triggers. The core pistol is optics ready, and many bundles are sold with a Canik Micro Red dot included, which lowers the cost of entry for modern carry. Capacity is commonly 12+1 with a flush magazine and 15+1 with the extended magazine, which is strong for a pistol this small. Canik's reliability reputation in the striker-fired space has improved year after year, and the MC9 benefits from that momentum. Pricing is a big part of the appeal too. Typical street prices often sit around $400 to $550 depending on package and whether an optic is included. The downsides are the usual ones. Some shooters still hesitate when they hear Turkish-made. The aftermarket is smaller than Glock, and magazines can be harder to find locally. Resale is not as strong as older household name platforms, and the included optic and bundle packages is useful, but not built like premium duty-grade dots. Still, for many carriers, the METE MC9 is the easiest way to get a modern, capable 9mm micro compact without paying premium money. Walther enters the picture with the PDP F-Series, a pistol that feels engineered around how people actually shoot rather than how spec sheets look. Everything about the PDP F-Series points toward ergonomics and control. The grip angle, texture, and contouring make it one of the most comfortable striker-fired pistols available, especially during longer training sessions. The slide serrations are aggressive and easy to manipulate under stress, and the optic system is designed to support common red dot setups in a way that feels modern and practical. The trigger is where Walther earns its reputation. The factory feel is crisp and consistent with a short reset that helps speed up accurate shooting. And that is one of the biggest reasons people say a PDP feels more refined than a standard Glock right out of the box. Capacity varies by model, but the platform offers strong capacity options that compete directly with typical Glock equivalents. The trade-offs are mostly practical. Pricing tends to run higher than Glock, with many PDP F-Series pistols commonly selling in the mid-500s up into the high 600s depending on configuration, and magazines are not cheap. Availability is improving, but it is still not as universally stocked as Glock, and the aftermarket is growing rather than massive. If you prioritize shootability, grip comfort, and trigger quality over ecosystem dominance, the PDP F-Series makes a real argument in 2026. Smith & Wesson stays in the fight with the M and P9M 2.0 metal, blending a proven striker-fired platform with a metal frame and a more premium feel. The added weight changes how the pistol shoots immediately. Recoil feels softer, muzzle rise is reduced, and follow-up shots come faster with less effort. For many shooters, that alone makes the metal frame worth it, especially if they train frequently. Smith & Wesson has also refined the trigger over the years, and current factory versions offer a clean break and a strong reset that many shooters prefer over a typical Glock trigger feel. Grip fit remains one of the platform's biggest strengths thanks to interchangeable inserts that let you tune the shape to your hand, and the aggressive texture keeps the gun locked in place under recoil. Optics-ready models are common, and the platform has a long history of law enforcement use that supports its reputation for real-world reliability. Pricing is where reality comes in. These are not budget guns, and depending on whether you're looking at compact or full-size variants and special configurations, current pricing commonly lands around $700 to $900, with some models higher. The trade-offs are weight and carry comfort, because metal frames can feel heavier over a long day, and concealment is more challenging with larger setups. Holster and magazine availability has improved, but Glock still wins on sheer everywhere access. Even so, if you want a carry pistol that shoots flatter and feels more planted in the hand, the M and AMP P9M 2.0 metal belongs in the Glock replacement conversation. Springfield pushes hard with the Hellcat Pro. A pistol that proves slim does not have to mean underpowered. Springfield managed to fit 15+1 rounds into a very thin, highly concealable frame without making the gun feel awkward or top-heavy. The grip texture is designed to give control without turning your waistband into sandpaper, and the gun carries flatter than many people expect the first time they handle it. The factory sights are a real advantage too, because they tend to be much more carry-ready than basic plastic sights, and optics-ready versions make it easy to set up a red dot without extra work. The Hellcat Pro has become popular because it shoots bigger than it looks while still carrying like a slim gun. Pricing is also more competitive than many people assume. Even though the listed MSRP is higher, typical current street pricing for the Hellcat Pro commonly sits in the mid-500s up into the mid-600s, depending on the package. The downsides are the same limitations many non-Glock platforms face. The aftermarket is smaller, the pistol uses proprietary magazines, and some shooters find the texture a little aggressive during long-range days. A short break-in period is also something you will hear occasionally. But as a high-capacity, slim 9mm carry pistol that stays easy to conceal, the Hellcat Pro is one of the clear signs that the market has moved on from the old rules. At the top sits the SIG Sauer P365 XMacro comp, a pistol that has reshaped expectations for what a carry gun can be. Delivering 17+1 rounds in a compact frame would have sounded unrealistic not long ago. Yet SIG made it work, and it works in real hands, not just marketing photos. The integrated compensator built into the slide is not a gimmick. It noticeably reduces muzzle rise and keeps the pistol flatter during rapid fire, which translates into faster and more accurate follow-up shots. The grip module fits a wider range of hand sizes than many micro-compact frames. The texture is confident without being painful, and the optics-ready slide makes a modern setup effortless. Reliability on the P365 family has matured as the platform has evolved, and current production versions are widely trusted by serious carriers. The trade-offs come down to cost and support gear. The XMacro comp typically sells around the high 600s into the 800s, depending on the specific model and retailer, and magazines are expensive. The compensator length also means holster choice matters, so you usually need a holster built for that exact configuration. Recoil is still sharper than full-size guns because it is still a compact pistol firing 9mm, and the comp adds a little extra cleaning. But when you combine capacity, concealment, and speed, the P365 XMacro comp is one of the strongest examples of why Glock no longer owns the crown by default. Glock is not disappearing. It is not suddenly unreliable. But in 2026, it is no longer the unquestioned default. These pistols show how competition has pushed the industry forward, giving shooters real alternatives that better match how people actually carry and train. Whether you care most about capacity, trigger quality, ergonomics, or value, there is now a serious option that can challenge the old king, and that is why the dynasty feels like it is finally being tested.